outstanding achievement as a distinguished honor graduate for the 68 Quebec Pharmacy Specialist course, class 20-20. PV2 Christian dedication and commitment to excellence is keeping up with the finest traditions of military service and reflect great credit upon herself, the 264th Medical Battalion, the Medical Center of Excellence, and United States Army. Signed, Lieutenant Colonel Promotable Michael Stewart, Battalion Commander.
Hey. You guys could over here too. Just there, see, and all this in the back. So. Okay.
ladies and gentlemen. My name is Staff Sergeant Tony Scott, narrator for today's graduation ceremony. We ask that you please silence all cell phones and electronic devices as the ceremony will begin in 1 minute. If at any time you would like to move forward and take pictures, please feel free to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the entrance of the official party and the playing of the national anthem. Please be seated. Welcome to the Medical Education and Training Campus Class 2020 Pharmacy Technician Program Graduation Ceremony. The members of today's official party are our host, Major Dana J. Ball, Army Service Lead, Medical Education and Training Campus. Master Sergeant Mauricio Rodriguez, Program Senior Enlisted Lead Instructor, Medical Education and Training Campus. Lieutenant Commander Joshua Blackburn, Navy Service Lead, Medical Education and Training Campus. Chief Petty Officer Juan Sandoval, Navy Senior Enlisted Instructor. Captain Anthony Jenkins, Guest Speaker, and Class 2020 Class Advisor, Staff Sergeant Carmi Bryant, Medical Education and Training Campus. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. Welcome to the Medical Education and Training Campus Class 2020 Pharmacy Technician Program Recognition Ceremony. Today we honor 13 of our newest pharmacy technicians in the United States military. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy this short video.
Around the world, at clinics, on deployment, in the air, at sea, on the battlefield, the Department of Defense relies on having medical enlisted service members ready to treat and save the lives of their fellow service members and their families. Our medics, corpsmen, and medical technicians need to have the knowledge and skills to meet their service's mission. This medical training starts here in San Antonio, Texas, at the Medical Education and Training Campus, or MEDC. A state-of-the-art military healthcare education campus designed from the ground up to jointly train medical enlisted personnel from the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. MEDC is a part of the Defense Health Agency and is the world's largest allied healthcare campus. In 2005, the MEDC planners knew that this kind of medical training required an expert staff drawn from all branches of the military, with the most up-to-date instructional tools and facilities. The radiology program consists of 2 labs that provide 20 live and 15 simulated exposure units, with 15 other simulated exposure units in classrooms. Cardiovascular technician students utilize a unique heart catheter simulator to give them exposure to this specialized skill in a safe training environment. Throughout the program, the students are trained on the most current equipment they will use at their next duty station. The dental program features 60 dental treatment chairs within 4 fully furnished and functional general assisting laboratories. Students create molds and work with the actual tools and materials they will use in their future dental clinics and on deployment. Many of the classrooms and laboratories are designed to enhance real application of knowledge and skill, like the pharmacy technician classrooms that are immediately adjacent to 2 fully stocked and functional 12-window outpatient pharmacies. With nearly 50 programs of instruction, MEDC touches all aspects of medical training, ranging from the Navy Hospital Corps School and Air Force Aerospace Medical Service course to the Army-specific combat medic training in simulated combat environments, and even specialized instruction for medical equipment repair technicians in their award-winning classroom and field biomedical enlisted technician facilities. And in addition to the primary mission, MEDC is committed to preparing our medical enlisted personnel to continue their education. Many MEDC programs are accredited and include coursework that is transferable to a host of colleges and universities. Partnerships with colleges and universities nationwide have resulted in degree completion bridge programs that allow MEDC graduates an easier path to a degree. This facility has become the largest education consolidation in U.S. military history, bringing together Army, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard medical trainees. Living and learning in a joint environment that combines the educational experience with world-class activity and fitness centers to encourage a spirit of cooperation across all service branches. But the MEDC experience is also mindful of the strong military culture of each branch by having service-specific living quarters, drill and exercise programs. The consolidation of service branches at MEDC allows the services to learn from each other and adopt the best practices of each branch like never before. Instructors from all services work to transform their students into the finest medical providers of their discipline within their respective services and in joint assignments worldwide. This award-winning campus is a flagship example of a joint training environment that works. MEDC, training the world's finest medics, corpsmen, and technicians in one of the world's finest medical training facilities.
The pharmacy program, which is accredited by the American Society of Health Systems Pharmacists, is arguably one of the most challenging and demanding programs the Medical Education and Training Campus offers. It is comprised of 2 phases of training, which include 600 hours of rigorous didactic and laboratory coursework. The Army culminated the training with 5 weeks of medical training at the San Antonio Military Medical Center and a 96-hour field training exercise, which certified their competence in warrior tasks and battle drills, in addition to mastering field pharmacy operations. The Navy culminated their training with 6 weeks of medical training at the San Antonio Military Medical and Wilford Hall Medical Center, solidifying their knowledge and skills obtained in the classroom. Today, each of the students have completed all program requirements and have earned the trusted title of pharmacy technician. We would now like to recognize the finest training instructors and training cadre that has devoted numerous hours to the training and education of each graduate, some of whom could not be here today. Will the pharmacy instructors and training cadre please stand? Today, we have the honor to have as our guest speaker an extremely accomplished and well-respected Air Force leader, Captain Anthony Jenkins. Chaplain Captain Anthony Jenkins currently serves as a staff chaplain for the 59th Medical Wing, Joint Base San Antonio, Texas. In this capacity, he serves primarily as chaplain to the 59th Training Group located at the Medical Education and Training Campus on Fort Sam Houston. Additionally, he supports the 959th Medical Group located at Brooke Army Medical Center, Texas, and the 59th Training Support Squadron located at Camp Lewis. Previously, he served for 10 years in the U.S. Army, 4 years in the 257th Army Band, D.C., and 1 year in the 229th Army Band, M.D. Chaplain Jenkins commissioned into the Army Chaplain Corps in October 2014 and served the 29th Combat Aviation Brigade, Aberdeen Proving Ground, and the 629th Military Intelligence Battalion, Laurel, Maryland. He is a native of Washington, D.C., and has also called Pennsylvania, Virginia, upstate New York, and southern Maryland home. He holds a BA in music performance from Morgan State University and a Master's of Divinity from Meadville Lombard Theological School. He has also served as a chaplain at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore. It is my pleasure and honor to welcome Captain Anthony Jenkins.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How are y'all feeling? A little lighter, hopefully? A little brighter, hopefully? Great pleasure to get this invite. I appreciate that, Master Rodriguez. Being prior Army, there's an MOS actually for a very specific type of MOS that I'm very deeply called to on the Army side that I would probably be back for the majority of my time in the Air Force now, but I don't know if you've heard this joke. There are only 2 branches in the U.S. military, the Army and the Navy. The Air Force is a corporation. Marine Corps is a cult. Coast Guard is a cloud of smoke, right? It's not entirely untrue is what I would say, but I greatly appreciate a room full of sailors and soldiers to address. Does anybody know what the original motto of the U.S. was? I don't have a coin for you, but maybe a lollipop or something later. Original motto of the United States of America, 3 words, Latin. E pluribus unum. Anybody know what that means? Out of many, one. So you have heard that we are the 1%, right? Y'all talk about this? They drill it to death in the Air Force, we're the 1%. So there are about 330 million citizens in the U.S. right now. 1% of that is 2 million. So actively serving all branches, all components, 2 million. Everything that is in the 99% is in that 1%, So we reflect all of that light. Better, worse, good, bad, all that stuff is in here. Does that make sense? Raise your hand if you're from New England, like Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Connecticut. Anybody from the Mid-Atlantic, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, New York, New Jersey? Anybody from Pennsylvania? Anybody a Steelers fan? Don't start off with your sorry on Sunday. Anybody from the South?
4.
Midwest? West Coast? Pacific Northwest? Southwest? Anybody from a territory like Guam, Philippines? Anybody from another country? Those of you who are from another country, keep your hand raised if you, by chance, if you're not a citizen yet. Everybody look at this hand, right? Okay, you can drop it. So she has volunteered to serve with you, train with you, fight with you, die with you, kill with you if necessary. She does not yet have the rights that you have. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. She's serving and pretending for freedoms. She's serving and defending for freedoms that she hopes to gain through that. When you raised your right hand, you did it on behalf of rights that you already have. Just know that she is serving to get them, and that your ancestors did this for you at some point. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Think about whether or not you would go to Australia and serve in the Australian Army or the Navy for the hopes of gaining Australian citizenship. Very beautiful thing to be at a naturalization ceremony for somebody who is gaining citizenship into America who has already been on 2 or 3 deployments. Beautiful. Because they already put their life on their line for us, so they have a great appreciation for all the stuff that we take for granted. They would never not vote. They would never not go for jury duty. They would never do that stuff. They were like, because they remember what it was like to not have it. Does that make sense? So you have all this stuff in this room, all this great diversity. You have every race, every creed, every gender, every sex, every orientation, every political affiliation. Everything that you can imagine that exists in the 99% is here, right? All of it is here. I can promise you there's somebody in this room who's completely opposite you theologically. Like whatever you think about the sacred, whatever you think about the holy, they're completely on the opposite end of you. Wherever you are on the spectrum of sexuality, they are all the way on the other side from you, whatever you imagine that to be, right? Whatever way you would vote, there's somebody in here who would vote completely opposite you. They would do everything different in the booth that you would do. Does that make sense? But we have to be together. And this is what makes us different from the 99%. We signed a whole bunch of paperwork, right? We raised our right hand. So we have to serve together. We get in this room together. We have to figure it out together, even when we don't want to, right? What that means is, even if I have been conditioned to hate you, if I've been taught to hate you, I have to at least trust you with my life to get home to the people that I love, right? Everything that we do in the military is potentially fatal. Everything that we do, even when we're training. So that means from day one, we all trust each other with our lives. So we have to do that. Even if I hate you, I have to trust you to get back home to the people I love. So what that means is we have to talk. We got to communicate, at least about the mission. But then this weird thing happens, right? We start talking. We figure out that we have some strange stuff in common. You had this experience yet? Like we start talking, we figure out that both of us like Florida Georgia line or something, right? Like we both like funnel cake, or we both like single malt scout, or whatever. You know, we have something in common that we wouldn't have guessed because you're all the way from the other side of the tracks. You're all the way in that demographic that I don't deal with. There's none of you in my neighborhood. There's none of you in my school. There's none of you in my life. So, wow, we have that in common. So we start talking afterward, right? We notice that we start talking after the mission. We start hanging out. We start spending time together voluntarily. We start volunteering to be with each other. And then, maybe I'm FaceTiming home to my family. I say, hey, and they say, this is Jones, you know, good friend of mine. They say, that's not your friend. We don't have friends that look like that. Not where we're from. And you say, I do now, right? I got to know one of them. So it's much harder for me to hate them, right? And maybe they're coming home with me for Exodus. So you need to fix your face. Whatever jokes normally fly at Thanksgiving, you need to fix that. Because now somebody from that group is going to be here, and I care about them, I've trusted them, they've trusted me, so my worldview is expanded. Does this make sense? There's very few other places on the globe where all of this diversity is in the room, and we have to be together. And we start to build these relationships organically because I have to get the mission done, and because I need you just to survive. Does that make sense? A lot of people in 99% don't believe that a room like this is possible. They don't see it enough. Sometimes they get to stay in places surrounded by people who just look like them, who just believe like them, who just worship like them. and they don't see a room like this. There might not be people in the neighborhood who look like this. We have this beautiful opportunity here. Every day you're in the most diversely rich pool that you will ever be in your life. And we get to know each other in ways that totally change hearts and minds. Like, people are always like, I'm just one person, I can't make a big difference in the world, right? You do. Whether you want to or not, you do. Maybe your roommate here was the first, you might have been the first Latina person they ever met in their life. You might be the first LGBTQ person they ever met in their life. And so for better or for worse, you're gonna change their point of view from that relationship. They're gonna go home and maybe raise their kids differently. Does that make sense? They're gonna go home and deal with their spouse differently. Their whole worldview is gonna change because they had an experience of you. And that's different from the 99. Right now, a lot of them can get the news that they want. They can listen to the radio that they want. They can do the thing that they want, but we have an experience of each other. So it's harder for us to go home and hate each other. Even if we don't agree at the end of the day, even if we're not totally on the same sheet of music, it's harder for me to say that you or your people are anything because I got to know you and you have my back, right? And we grew to trust each other. That is the beauty of this space together, this thing that we do in the military. A lot of it we don't get right sometimes. What we do get right is we gotta be together. And so a lot of the rights that some of us, particularly those of us of color, what we enjoy now as citizens is because some people put on these uniforms and they served to earn it. When people didn't believe that we were necessarily physically capable, mentally capable, emotionally capable, there were people who put on these uniforms and earned it. This is true for almost every ethnicity. If you're Asian American, right? 442nd Infantry earned it for you. Earned your citizenship for you. While their families were in internment camps in America, fought in World War II, freed Jewish refugees, prisoners from concentration camps. If you're Puerto Rican, the 65th Infantry, Puerto Ricaneers earned it for you. Put this uniform on, and went, before you had the right to vote for your commander-in-chief, before you had the right to do anything like that, went to earn it for you. Does this make sense? Women. People put on this uniform before they could even put the uniform on, really. Earn this for you. 54th Massachusetts, for my people, right? Earn this for me in the Civil War. Came in and really built these relationships with people who ordinarily would not give them the time of day. These are people normally who you would run away from, but you have to run with in the military, and you get to know them in ways that totally change the trajectory of your entire life. So that's a beautiful thing to me, what we do here together. There's a great opportunity in that. There's a great joy in that. Even when we run up against each other and bump up against each other, we don't have the luxury like they do out there of avoiding each other. We can't do that. So we have to trust each other. And then people have this, they all kind of trust us. It's interesting right now. There are a lot of people who don't necessarily trust government. They do trust us. And that's an amazing thing to live up to, but they do trust us. There are people who don't agree about anything politically, but they feel better if you walk into the grocery store. Right? They feel better if you get on the plane. They sleep more soundly on the plane because you're on it. And they trust that if something goes down, you're squared away enough to handle it. Does that make sense? Do you remember how it felt before you were in the uniform, when you saw somebody in uniform come in, that you just feel better? Right? Felt safer? That's what we represent for people. There are people who do not trust government, trust us. So live up to that, right? We can live up to that. Spoiler alert, there's an election coming up, right? We are a 50-50 country. So here's what you can know on November 4th. However you voted, half of the plane voted differently. Half the restaurant voted differently. Half the stadium voted differently. But we still managed to figure this out, right? The president only really wins by like 2% over a half, so 51-49, which means on the day after election, you can know half the people in the country did not vote for you. And you still gotta figure out how to lead them. And to the 99%, that's crazy. But we do that all the time. Like, no matter what happens on November 3rd, we'll go into work on the 4th and salute and execute, right? All these different races, all these creeds, all these ethnicities, all that stuff. We're gonna get together and handle business no matter what happens. And us doing that demonstrates to the 99% that that is possible. There will be a lot of people who are salty. Half of us will be salty on November 4th. And we're still gonna have to come to work and do the thing, and we will. And it won't affect some of our basic relationships with each other, even the ones that we have with the people who we don't agree with politically. Does this make sense to you? We represent that to the people out there. Remember that when you put this uniform on. Remember that you represent the hope that oneness is possible, that you're the 1%. You represent to the 99 that this room is possible. You represent that we can get some amazing stuff done together if we put all that stuff aside and we get together. Does that make sense? You as pharmacy drill this down, right? You build relationships with people in the same way. People have to come see you. They don't really want to come see you, right? You're not catching people on their best day. They do not really want to come see you. Going to pharmacy is not good. Nobody wakes up and says, boy, I can't wait to go to pharmacy today. Right? It's not that much different from the chaplain's office. Nobody wakes up and says, I cannot wait to go see the chaplain today. Use up a half a box of Kleenex and cry my eye. I can't wait to do that, right? Because it means you're going to come in with a certain level of vulnerability. With you all, it's physical vulnerability. With me, it's spiritual vulnerability, but same jam, right? You're going to come in, not on their best day, not in their best frame of mind, full of fear, which may sound like anger, rage, and probably the person, a lot of the people that you're going to have to keep seeing over and over again. So you're going to build this relationship where you have to tell them what to take. You can take this with a full stomach, empty stomach, can't drink with this, can't do that, and these people are trusting you with their lives, right? In that military way. They're trusting you not to give them 250 milligrams of the thing that should be 25 milligrams. They're trusting that the label says take this twice, and it doesn't mean take it 3 times. Does that make sense? They're trusting you with their lives, but this weird thing happens, bro. You start talking. So it starts out about the pills, and it ends up being about other stuff. And you build these relationships with people who, again, you would probably not normally give the time of day to. They wouldn't give the time of day to you. They're probably, maybe they're like 40 years older than you. They're from some other country from you. Don't know anybody who's in the same demographics that you have, but you start talking and you change their heart and mind based on a relationship that you build. So your work starts about pills, but it ends up being about souls. Does that make sense? You end up greatly shaping the world by how you treat people, how you deal with people when they're getting these pills, because they're hanging on by a thread sometimes. They'll come to see you. Sometimes they gotta keep coming to see you. It is your smiling face. It's your presence, it's your warmth, it's your heart, it's that energy that you radiate that changes the experience that they have in medical. They're definitely not coming to you on their best day. So you can make it a really good day by how you are with them. This is another opportunity you have to shape a heart and a mind. They may go away from an interaction with you thinking, oh, you know what? Those people aren't so bad. And then they might go home and tell the people at home, those people aren't so bad, and that is the hope. You understand? It's not a small thing. It's a heavy responsibility, it's a heavy trust, but that's really what we've raised our right hand to do in a deeper sense. It's change hearts and minds, demonstrate to the 99 that oneness is possible in the 1%. Does this make sense? A lot of us come from neighborhoods, right, that are hard to get out of. We still represent that. We come out of families that are really hard to get out of. And we represent them here. We represent all of that stuff here. We bring it all together. You could say, maybe some of you people at home are like, how could you wear this uniform right now? Particularly people of color. Maybe people at home are like, you're a traitor. Anybody heard that? How could you wear this uniform right now? Based on what's going on in the world, how could you do that? How could you run with it? You should be with us over here. You know, what you can say to them is, this is a house of representatives. I represent you here. I represent Delaware, Kentucky, Georgia. I represent you here. I represent my high school here. I represent my family here. I bring your voice into the room. You rage against the machine, I'm gonna rage inside the machine. There has always needed to be somebody inside the machine to make sure that it runs right. That's what I'm doing. Does that make sense? That's what you can say to them. That's what I'm doing. And I'm gonna meet somebody here who you would never talk to. And I'm gonna talk to them, and they're gonna feel differently about our people because of that. And whatever they go on to do from there, whether they become commanders or politicians, whatever, they're never gonna forget me. They're gonna remember me. And so when they get into a place to be able to lead or to govern, I'm gonna be in their consciousness, and that's gonna be better for all of us. So remember that when you go from here, feel good about how you got here, whether you're the honor grad or you just got in by the skin of your teeth. 99% of the people out there cannot do what you are doing. feel good about that. There are people at home who don't know how to affirm you, who can't give you love, who don't know how to say they're proud of you. Please know that we are proud of you. Please know that we love you. Please know that we appreciate all the time, the sacrifice, and the energy, and the love, and the effort that you have put in, and we cannot wait to see what you will do in the operational Army and the operational Navy. But please don't let anybody take this moment away from you. You are in the right place at the right time. You are the right person for this. And we will be so much better for your presence, so much richer for your presence. So we appreciate you. Look forward to all that you will do out there. Thank you.
Captain Jenkins, thank you for your inspiring words of wisdom. It is now my distinct honor to announce Class 2020 honor graduates. Their hard work and commitment follows in the footsteps of all pharmacy program honor graduates. Their names will be engraved on a plaque dedicated to Master Sergeant Retired Santiago Souza, the first Army pharmacy technician to earn the rank of Master Sergeant. The honor graduates are the students who have maintained the highest program average, have failed no written or practical areas of evaluation, and have retained the respect and dignity of their command. Will the following students please come forward? PV2 Ashley Christian. PV2 Christian has earned the title of honor graduate with a GPA of 96.45%. PV2 Christian will receive a certificate of achievement signed by Lieutenant Colonel Julie Meek, METC Pharmacy Training Program Director. PV2 Christian will also receive the METC Pharmacy Program Point of Excellence from the Army Pharmacy Leadership. H.N. Samuel Baker. H.N. Baker has earned the title of honor graduate with a GPA of 94.41%. H.N. Baker will receive a certificate of achievement signed by Lieutenant Colonel Julie Meek, METC Pharmacy Technician Program Director. H.N. Baker will also receive the METC Pharmacy Program Point of Excellence from the Navy Pharmacy Leadership. Please give the distinguished honor graduates a round of applause. PV2 Christian's dedication and school aptitude led her to achieve the highest GPA for Class 20-20. Please welcome PV2 Ashley Christian.
The year 2020 and class 2020, destined to be great. So there we were, a group of eager sailors, airmen, soldiers, and one Coast Guard. All fresh faces and brand new students in the METC Pharmacy program. We all had a few things that bonded us. First, our desire to graduate. Second, the eagerness to learn our new profession. And third, explore all the beautiful things San Antonio had to offer. Class 2020, 2 out of 3 is not bad. Good morning, distinguished guests, leaders, drill sergeants, instructors, family, friends, and most importantly, class 2020. I am Private Ashley Christian, and today I have the great honor to represent our class on this stage. I have to be honest. Initially, when the opportunity presented itself to deliver this speech, my original emotions were hesitation, fear, and trying to figure out a way to say no. After all, no has been a common answer for us, and that was my chance. But like many other times during this course, common sense took over, this time in the form of my battle buddies. And those emotions were quickly converted to pride and the aspiration to represent you. As I pondered on what I would say, the thought that resonated in my head was, why am I here? Class 2020, it is my honor to be speaking in front of you today. We have finally completed the mission and can officially say we are pharmacy technicians in the United States military. This journey was not easy. Looking back, it has been a 6-month long wait. Let me correct myself. A 6-month and 4-day academic long roller coaster. Typically, during our training experience, we would have been taking PT tests, marching, calling cadence, leading posts, and even have our families and friends visit. But this journey has been anything but normal. The world has had to deal with all the variables a world pandemic brings, and as a result, so have we. We've made adjustments not only to everyday life tasks, but also to how we learn and how we experience our training. Now, we wear masks, maintain 6 feet of social distance, no PT tests, and yes, as we all know, no leaving posts, and no to family and friends visiting. Just no, no, no. No became a common response. In addition to normal COVID-19 restrictions, our class had the opportunity to experience the much dreaded quarantine. So halfway through the course, we were notified that our class was required to quarantine for 14 days. It's not something we were prepared for or expecting. The uncertainty of what was next with our immediate future was prevalent in our minds. We had to communicate with family and friends and ease their concerns while we still had ours. After some trial and error, we started virtual learning with Microsoft Teams. Now, that was an interesting experience. Our thanks go to Technical Sergeant Keith and HM2 Balhone for their patience while they delivered curriculum to students in a virtual environment and to make sure that that roller coaster wasn't 6 months and 14 days. We figured it out and made it work. During quarantine, at least for the Army, because all quarantines are not created equal. I can say we had our delicious DFAC meals delivered. Our trash was picked up, showering was optional, and we were even allowed an hour of yard time a day. Never mind. That was just a rumor. We were in solitary confinement. It was a wonderful experience that I hope to never ever have to repeat. Coming back from quarantine was yet another academic challenge. We were introduced back to in-classroom learning by taking therapeutics exams almost every other day for the first several days. It was challenging, but we focused and we made it through one of the most difficult parts of this course. Mr. Corona may have changed our experience. Nonetheless, we proved that no matter the circumstances, it can be done. Even through all the restrictions, no's, and frustration, we've shared many laughs. Laughs that brought some of us to tears. Being able to push through this unusual circumstance is a testament to you, to us. It's an example that our generation does have resiliency. Sometimes we just need to dig deep and find it. It's there, I promise. It's easy to get discouraged and knocked off your feet. It's hard to get back up and push through. But all of us did it, because it's not what happens that determines the quality of our experiences, but rather it's what we do that changes everything. On the bright side, the corona restrictions gave us the opportunity to focus on the mission at hand. After all, how many times can you go to the PX? We limited distractions, we focused on studying, and we learned that this difficult road may actually lead to a beautiful destination. Today's destination is our graduation. We've seen 2 classes before us graduate. Now it's our turn. Like the year 2020, class 2020 was meant to be challenging but great, and we will not be forgotten. After all, for this year, class 2520, this does not sound as cool. During this course, we were challenged with 33 didactic and practical exams testing our abilities to make sterile products, fill prescriptions, counsel patients, perform pharmacy operations in field conditions, and even demonstrate our newly acquired skills with real patients. Being a small class definitely had its advantages. I mean, all of us fit into one classroom, even with the 6 feet distance. And then just yesterday, we took a very challenging 120-question National Pharmacy Certification exam. And like everything else we've done in this course, we took on the challenge and knocked it out of the park. During our first week in class, Sergeant First Class Goitia told us that in his 3 years as an instructor, he had never had an Army class have a 100% graduation rate. Class 2020 and Sergeant First Class 20th Pharmacy class started with 5 soldiers, eager, shy, and hesitant. We sat half asleep in Pharmacy 101, listening to all the pharmacy's rules and regulations. Yes, no cell phones, we remember. Fantastic Five. Today, there are 5 resilient, confident, strong women, soldiers, and pharmacy professionals ready to take on the next challenge. Sergeant First Class Goitia, there is a first for everything, and we are your first 100%. Just remember, it took an all-female class for that. You are welcome. Class 2020, individually, we are not perfect. We have failed, and we have made mistakes, and have learned that failure is just a setup for a comeback. But most importantly, we have learned to fail and win anyways. Battles, you are truly a fantastic 5, and together, we are perfect. I will be remiss if I did not highlight our battleship mates. It may have taken some time before we all started to talk, but you grew on us. We got to know you and even learned that one of you went to high school with an instructor. Right, Arangas? Also, we learned that the Navy students had the opportunity to experience Army-like restrictions. But it did take a world pandemic for that to happen. Nonetheless, I can definitely say the 9 of you enhanced our experience. I think I can safely speak for the Army. You all made our time here a more enjoyable adventure. Thank you for the memories and for being our battleship mates. To all our leaders, instructors, drill sergeants, counselors, mentors, family, and friends, thank you for your guidance, for your patience and motivation, for molding us and making sure we arrive to this day. We are here because of you and in spite of Corona. This experience has produced soldiers, sailors, and individuals who are better prepared to face the world. For better or worse, we are now part of your legacy. In closing, during this unusual and challenging time, we had to find our motivation and really think about our why. Why are we here? During basic training, my drill sergeants were persistent that all of us discover our reasons for being here and figuring out our why. After sharing stories with all of you for 6 months and 4 days, I have learned that we all have different whys. Paying for school, a way out of current situations, a profession, money, or maybe just something different to do. My why was to continue a long family tradition. My grandpa, dad, uncles, cousins, and stepdad were all in the Army, so it made perfect sense that I continue on that proud tradition. When the road became hard, because it did. When I became frustrated, because I did. When I missed my family and friends, because I did. When doubt creeped in, because it did, I thought about my why. And it all made sense again. I hope that your why served you as well as mine did. I want to leave you with one thing. What the future may have in store for us, you don't know, say. But as one of our instructors told us before almost every test, you've already got a 100, just keep it. Class 2020, let's be great. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now award the graduation certificates to class 2020. The first group of students are those who achieve academic honors. The Dean's List consists of those students that have maintained an overall program average of 92% or higher, have failed no written or practical areas of evaluation, maintain the respect and dignity of their command. PV2 Ashley Christian, who maintained a GPA of 96.45% on assignment to the 94th Field Hospital, Seagoville, Texas. H.N. Samuel Baker, who maintained a GPA of 94.41% on assignment to Navy Medical Readiness and Training Center, Groton, Connecticut. H.N. Sophia Mitchell, who maintained a GPA of 94.08% on assignment to Navy Medical Readiness and Training Center, Rota, Spain. H.N. Rolando Aringuez Jr., who maintained a GPA of 93.12% on assignment to Navy Medical Readiness and Training Center, Jacksonville, Florida. Please give all of our dean's lists a round of applause. The following students have completed all program requirements and have earned the trusted title of Pharmacy Technician. Each of our students will receive a METC Pharmacy Technician Program Diploma signed by Colonel Richard A. Villarreal, Dean, Medical Education and Training Campus. H.A. Austin Edwards II, Navy Medical Readiness and Training Center, Sigonella, Italy. C. Taylor, Empfield, 325th Field Hospital, Independence, Missouri. Private London, Franklin, Count Humphreys, Korea. H.N. Sydney Harvey, Navy Medical Readiness and Training Center, Okinawa, Japan. PFC Lourdes Moreno, USA Medac, Fort Knox, Kentucky. H.A. Kayla C., Navy Medical Readiness and Training Center, Great Lakes, Illinois. PFC Guadalupe Rosa, 865th Field Hospital, Niagara Falls, New York. H.N. Kelsey Whittemore, Navy Medical Readiness and Training Unit, Iwakuni, Japan. H.A. Tatum Womack, Navy Medical Readiness and Training, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Please give all of our students a well-deserved round of applause. The Medical Education Training Campus Pharmacy Program would like to take a moment to recognize the recipient of the Instructor Academic Accolade Award, the AAA, for Class 2020. The award will be presented by the honored graduates. The winner of the AAA must be a fully qualified instructor, nationally certified, and be selected by the students in the graduating class. The recipient of the METC Pharmacy Program AAA Award is HM1 Alex Horton. Will be receiving a certificate of appreciation signed by Lieutenant Colonel Julie Meek, METC Pharmacy Program Director. Additionally, HM1 Horton will be receiving the instructor podium to represent his excellence in education.
Thanks, sir.
recognized on a national level as a measure of excellence for the advancement of patient safety in the pharmacy technician career field. The national passing average is 66%. Class 20-20's passing rate was an impressive 100%. Please give Class 20-20 another well-deserved round of applause. At this point, Major Dana J. Ball, Army Service Lead, will offer the closing remarks.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning. All right, so first off, I just want to say, congratulations. All the cadre and leadership here, we are so very proud of you. And I have a tough act to follow. I have Captain Jenkins here, who just, his words of wisdom are, I can listen to you all day, sir, so thank you. And then Private Christian, awesome speech. I mean, you nailed it, rocked it, and I think everyone really appreciated you coming up to the podium and talking and telling, I guess, sharing your experience and what you guys endured here. So this class, you endured a lot. You really had to dig deep and find your resilience, your grit, and determination. And I just can't say how proud I am of all of you. You guys were guinea pigs for this class. We didn't know that our class could teach virtual. You guys proved us wrong. Now, granted, I can't imagine, being in solitary confinement for 14 days, but again, you guys had to dig deep, like Private Christian said, and you did it. So you are setting us up as a course for success, because we already know that come our class that is actually on the ground now, when they start Exodus, they're going to be virtual learning after Exodus. So you prepared us and taught us that we need to come and do our critical and creative thinking and figure out how we can deliver distance learning to a class. So thank you for being our guinea pigs. We appreciate it. Other than that, this, like I said, this class, this is really just the beginning. So what you guys experience here, use all of that knowledge, experience, determination, resilience, because this is just the beginning. You think that you had obstacles here, just wait until you get to your first assignment. All the stuff that life has to bring you, that's going to come your way. Being here and going through what you went through, you guys will have no issue overcoming it. But I just want to wish all of you the best of luck. You guys don't need luck, though. Just the best of everything. You guys are going to rock it. I am proud. I would work with any of you as a pharmacy technician. I would love to work with you, and I would, be honored actually to work with you in the future. And you never know, maybe our paths will cross again. So thank you. Good luck, and just have a great career ahead of you. You guys, it's fantastic. So thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of the Armed Forces Salute and the exit of the official party. You will find the words to the songs posted on the monitors before you.
The Army goes rolling along.
March along, sing our song, with the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might. And the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won. And the army goes rolling along. Then it's high, high, hey, the army's on its way. Count off the chaos, loud and strong. For wherever we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along.
Anchors away.
Stand Navy out to sea. Fire battle cry
mission.